10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome everybody to Stadium Connect North, episode 47. I'm John, aka Four Scars Gaming, and here's my good friend and co-host Ninja Guy X. How are you doing?
Hey, John, doing well, thank you. Sorry I couldn't make it to last week's show. My internet provider completely crapped out on me, and it crapped out nationwide, Rogers. So it was pretty crazy, but I'm here today, and no problem today at all. So super happy to be here.
Well, we missed you last week, but totally understand. I mean, you don't have any internet at all, so that was quite the debacle with Rogers here being out for almost a full 24 hours here in Canada. Internet service provider, and they provided internet services to a lot of the country and a lot of financial and banking and things like that. So it was quite the outage. But here we are, a week later. Everything is good. We're back up and running. Ninja Guy X is here, and we are all happy. So before we get started, because we've got an action-packed, filled show as always, I wanted to see what have you been up to in the last week or so?
Well, John, I completely quit Stadia, and I'm only playing Xbox Series X now. So, I'm kidding, of course. I've been playing, a lot of Stadia, a lot of games. Actually, I've been focusing a lot on achievements. And as a matter of fact, every Wednesday now I'm organizing a community event, and we're looking to play Doom multiplayer every week for about maybe the whole year. It'll depend. We're looking to get all of the multiplayer achievements, which takes a really long time. Yeah. So everybody who's here, I just want to let you know, if you go on my channel every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time or 11 p.m. UK time, just join me and we'll have some fun with playing Doom, and keep in touch with my Twitter. I announce it every week. So look forward to that.
Awesome. That is so great to hear. I was able to catch some of your stream this past Wednesday here. I was hoping to participate, but I had to go out to the grocery store and do some errands and stuff, and unfortunately I couldn't. But from what I saw, it looks like everyone was having fun, and it's a great time. So definitely I'm going to try and make it for next Wednesday. And you know what? I don't even think I've played the multiplayer mode on Doom Eternal.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah. So this will be awesome. Completed the game, but haven't played the multiplayer. So really looking forward to that. You can find the details to Ninja Guy X's Twitter and YouTube in the description of this video. And also the bot will be advertising it throughout the show here. Today's show, oh my gosh. So we're going to have an update on one of, I think it was actually the third community developer interview that I did. It was back in April or May of last year. And it was, with an individual here that we're going to bring on here. He's patiently waiting. Let's just give a little bit of background. I've got some stuff to say. We'll bring him on, and then we've got a little video to fill everyone in from where we were last year. So back in March of 2021, Stadia sponsored a Play Anywhere game jam that was a week long. There were 10 teams from around the world consisting of about 40 developers. Their goal was to create a couch co-op local multiplayer game. And the developers were each paid for their participation. So, they're not just spending a week doing it for free. They retain all ownership and rights of the games. And there's no obligation for them to publish the game on Stadia. But what ended up happening were 3 teams were selected and offered an opportunity to participate in the Stadia Makers program, bringing their game to Stadia, getting additional funding and support to complete development. And last year, we spoke with this individual here. We'll go ahead and bring him up here. Here we are, Michael. Hey, Michael, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, we are. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, there you go. My mic is on now.
There we go. There's that nice, deep voice. It sounds so good. Well, it's been, a little over a year since we last talked with you. Mm-hmm. You were just a few months out being one of the 3 winners from the Game Jam. And, it was so awesome to be able to talk with you, to find out your experiences with the Game Jam and even more. Before we go any further, because we want to give an update on where we are about the game that you and the team had developed at the Game Jam and were selected. Yep. I've put together some video clips from last year's Game Jam and throughout here. So it's going to give us a little bit of background for those that, just as a refresher for those in the audience here, or maybe even those that aren't even aware of it. This will be a good little refresher here to let you know, and then will talk with Michael. So let's get this video rolling here. We'll get us over here.
Hey creatives, my name is Calvert Warner, and I'm a composer based in Bronx, New York. I'm the co-founder of a tech startup called Jump Button Studio, where we make products that solve problems, invoke change, and inspire creativity through games, apps, and animations. I want to create a soundtrack that really immerses the player into the experience. I want to create something that really catches the player's attention almost right away. Something that really fits in with the environment of our talented artist. I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Cheers.
My name is Jonathan.
I remember these.
Game designer for our team. Yeah. My role is to take that simple seed of an idea and translate it into an experience filled with tailor-made interaction. We want to create an experience that you develop alongside your partner, sharing both your struggle and triumphs as you progress throughout the game.
Hi, my name is John Arvin Medallia, but most people call me Jovi. I'm connecting in from the Philippines, and I'm going to be the lead artist for our team. I've dabbled in 2D animation for infomercials and video games, but nowadays I'm working as an environmental concept artist for an up-and-coming 3D platformer. But for our project, we decided to go with a 2D game, which I'm looking forward to because it's been a while, and I'm curious to see how much I've improved since last time. I'm also really excited to reconnect with some old friends and hopefully make new ones. I can't wait to see what we come up with and to check out what others have done as well.
Hi, my name is Michael Berthaud. I'm a game design developer from Boston, Massachusetts, and what I love most about the game that we're making is the mental spaces put us in while designing it. I feel like the game really has its own identity and doesn't lean too hard on the crutch of genre convention to find its identity. And without that crutch, I love that it gave us room to swim in waters that people seemingly don't like to swim in. Our game is a local
that's true, Mike.
platformer game in which the things that are typically given in the platformer, such as jumping, that we think are supposed to be there by default, we're flipping that on its head. You are passing around the ability to jump. So you have crystals that give you skills. And so you have to pass your partner a jump and say, okay, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna pass it back to you. Now you can jump. If the two players aren't communicating, then you won't be able to progress.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Umar-Kathab, and I am the game designer on the game currently titled Fragments.
Hi, my name is Michael Berthaud. I'm a game designer and programmer, and I was the programmer on this title currently called Fragments.
We're going to be taking through how the game is played. We'll be showing you a bunch of the puzzles and how we solve them. Fragments allows you to play as one of two characters. The first is Yone, a melee character, and the second is Yona, a ranged character. Fragments is designed as a co-op first game, which includes a variety of other elements sprinkled around through the design, such as platforming, puzzle solving, and action elements. So without further ado, let's begin. We're going to start off by going to the right. Now this challenge involves both players taking separate paths. Each one has its own set of challenges that the players will face.
Alright, then once the door opens, you can just continue.
Here, the first player will hit a switch which will open the door for the player 2 to proceed forward. As they make their way up, passing the crystal back and forth, here, we've reached the top, and now player 2 has to open the door for player 1 in order to bring him back over.
Oh my god, it looks crazy.
Ooh, that was scary. Oh man. Wait, why is it doing that?
I'd buy that day one.
We did that.
Yeah, for sure. This looks fun.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I got it.
Everybody says that.
Ah.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I've gotten that 1,000 times.
Good. Alright, see something. Boom. And we're good. Let's try. Go. Oh, I need that. And we're good. Beat it. 13 minutes.
13 minutes, I hear you guys. You beat it. I beat it. 13 minutes.
Hey, creatives.
Oops.
Boy, oh boy,
Oh,
if y'all thought that
yeah.
was cool, boy, do I have something for you.
Oh boy. Hold on. Let me get
Boy,
the
oh, boy.
cameras going here. So Michael, this is where we were about a year ago. And it's
Yeah.
crazy to think that you and the team put this all together in the matter of like a week, right?
Yeah.
Like from concept, like you had no idea what going into it, and then you had that about a week to create stuff. And what really like grabbed me about Fragments was that the ability, like the use that you make of it being co-op, like each player one relies on player two because you shift, the ability to jump. We're having this lever to open for here, like all these different unique puzzles. And I thought, wow, this is awesome. So that's when I reached out to you last year. I was like, you know what? I've just got to talk to somebody from there. And yeah, so let us, like, what's been going on this last year? Where is the game still called Fragments? Like, I mean, I don't even know.
It's been a while since we
right
heard
here.
news. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so a ton of stuff. Firstly, no,
Okay.
it's not called Fragments anymore.
Oh.
No, it's not called Fragments. This game is has changed quite
quite a bit since that video.
Wow.
I was like holding my head watching that. I couldn't believe that's what it was. I'm not even gonna lie. There was a part of me that was like, no, why? I thought this was burned. But it's actually really great. Because we did make that in a week, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how. But
that
like,
was
like, even sometimes I think about that, I was just like, we were really going on overdrive. Like our team, we spat. We did a great job. But yeah, so it's not called Fragments anymore. We actually this game Our Passing Thoughts. That's the title of the game.
Our Passing Thoughts. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Okay.
Thanks. And it's changed quite a lot. Like it's gotten a huge graphical overhaul. As you've seen, there was like what you watched. There was like basically a gray box. But it's very sweet for you to say that you'd get that on day one. I don't think Steam users would say that, but that was very sweet. Yeah. So yeah, we've changed it a lot. I think really what's been going on is a great deal of time went into firstly getting down the art style of the game. That was one thing that we really took a long time to communicate, because you know the nature of the game, as you've seen, like there's not we're not trying to give you a lot of mechanical complexity in that throwing a bunch of different new features at you. Like at face value, the game looks like you can pick it up and play it, right? And we also want to look like that, right? And so, however, that comes at a cost. You don't want the game, because if you try to, if you adhere to that too deeply, then you might run the risk of like making the game look like, you know, too, I guess,
boring,
like, for
right?
lack of
Like
a better word
too much of the same, yeah.
Yes, too boring, too friendly, such that somebody might look at this and already think that they know what's going to come of it. So it took a long time for us to, how do we communicate visually that while the game may present itself as inviting and simple, that it has a lot of depth to it, and we want to communicate that through our characters by having them look inviting but also have, you know, look capable. So our character designs took us a very long time, and also just about how do we want to communicate the world to our players. So that took a considerable amount of time. And then like and then in just talking about like there's in the demo that you guys seen here, there's only jumping and attacking, as you've seen, and that still is in there. But we also really experimented of like, you know, what are because our main goal here at the end of the day, right, at a high level, despite what I had said in those, well, what I said was true, but it's a little bit more meta than that, in that the real thing that we're exploring here is about, okay, with everything that we do, right, what are the ways that we can test, experiment, and push the limits at which two players can communicate with each other? Like, how can I really test, right, with every level, like how good do you two communicate? Like that's the question that we're asking with at each level without us saying it. And so what that comes with is asking ourselves, well, like there's many ways to ask the player that question beyond just jumping and attacking while keeping our base mechanics. And so that comes with, you know, us making pillars about like, well, like what does a passing thoughts puzzle look like, right? You know, like every game has like an identity of like, oh, that's like a XY, that's like a braid puzzle, it's like a portal puzzle, right? Well, like that's because it fits like a certain kind of theming, right? It makes you like, the constraint that it imposes upon you makes you like navigate it in a specific way. And so that requires like particular pillars and very like particular design that has to be uniform despite having you know, thousands of puzzles, right? And so I guess just really finding its not finding, but nailing down its identity took a really long time, finding out ways that we can just troll the players and experiment with like their communication skills a little bit, you know?
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Well, one of the things I loved when I talked with you last year was you're very creative and the team is very creative. Think outside of the box, outside of that AAA experience. I know we had a lengthy discussion about the AAA games and then also, you know, the indie scene. And, you know, since then, since that year and a few months ago, it's like my eyes have been so much even further opened to these great indie experiences that you just can't get anywhere else. And it is just awesome. Like, I was so inspired by our talk there and your passion and your creativity. And here you're mentioning it too, right? Like, you're thinking outside of the box. You're not creating these puzzles where you're already going in with a pre-thought, okay, well, I need to do this, this, and this. It's a whole new experience for the user where they're not quite sure. So they're going to have to explore, try these different things. And that's what I love about you and the team.
Can I say something? There's another thing about that. One thing that, a lot of times in all the production I've been a part of, like, especially because I program it too, that you play it 1,000 million times over, right? On top of like playing it to play it, also to bug test it too. And I mentioned that, and that's a given, right? But the reason I mentioned that is because a lot of times with the puzzle game, right, what might happen is that, well, like, I can't play it anymore because I already know exactly what to do, right? So like the authenticity is lost. What I like about this is that, like, I can play it with somebody and still have enjoyable time because of the interlocking dependency. So like, I still will have a hard time and still have a genuine experience because even though I know exactly what to do and I can tell us exactly, bro, this is what we have to do. Like, I still am dependent on the other different experience every time. I really, really enjoy that.
Right.
Something that you have to make sure when you program a game is that you have to like the game, right? Because you're going to be on that project for so long, you have to like it. So, if it gets boring, you have to figure out like ways to like keep it entertained to yourself and things like that. And like you said, it's true. Like the puzzles for you, it might be easy, but it's good to test with people because if you don't know the puzzle, then it's a lot harder for that person. So it's good that you get to try it with other people for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I have a blast. I have a lot of fun making it, and like, these days we have like so much footage of people playing it and play testers and such that like it's it's one of those joys where you're like, damn, it actually does work for real. Like, when you see the idea work, like it's more than just like, oh man, my game wasn't buggy. You know what I mean? It's more of a like, man, exactly what I envisioned, right? Like, that means that like your constraints that you want to impose upon the player is working, right? Because you can anticipate exactly how they're going to react to the scenarios, right? Like, when you have that degree of precision with how it's designed, like, that's a really good feeling, right? It's like you transferred some of your mind into like a playground, digital one at that.
I can imagine someone having fun with your game must feel really good, like you said. You mentioned about the graphical overhaul has been changed. Can you like elaborate on that? Can you tell us like exactly what changed? I'm sure like everything changed, but can you elaborate on what it looks like?
And can you tell us when we might be able to see these changes?
Tomorrow.
No way! What?
Really?
Tomorrow it should be tomorrow, unless the gods say otherwise. Tomorrow is what I have in my mind. Tomorrow, but I'm certain tomorrow. I have the video. I have the video in our little announcement in my hand right now. I just haven't shown it to anybody. It's quite nice. I like it a lot. I think it's a really no hype. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was literally just showing it like before this, and I was like, guys, this video is fire. Like, it's really really good,
man.
Wow!
But
I definitely can't
your
wait.
Question, the graphical overhaul we do, I think it to be superficial, we just made it look prettier. But we're still making it look prettier. But I think one of the things that we did, talk about how do we tell our story, because we're already telling. One of the things that's really important to me is not just communicating, because I try to use what's special about our medium, right? Which is like rules and play. Like, that's what's unique to our medium here, right? So, I really enjoy our passing thoughts because I know that, and we strive to like our idea thematically strictly strictly through its gameplay. No words, no story as we understand it, like or something. It's like that. But then, you know, when it comes to our graphical overhaul, it's like, oh, well, as a supporting aid, right? And how we tell and communicate that story also visually, right? So one of the things that we really took our time to talk about is like, well, in I don't know, this might spoil the plot a little bit, but like, you know, in when you're making a game that's strictly about people and about communication, right? And all those tribulations that come when you're communicating with someone, whether when they're understanding you and everything is going perfect, or when they're not understanding you and things are going terrible, right? Both sides of that coin will, like, if what does the world look like when no one's understanding each other and everything's in turmoil? There's no synergy in the world. And what does the world look like when everything is harmonious, right? And so we took a lot of time to boil down our visual language about how do we communicate, you know, synergy, I think, is one thing that we really take our time to do. And also, if you notice in that play session, this is my favorite thing about the whole graphical overhaul. In that, the game, obviously, you're passing a ball, right, to jump, right?
Yeah.
One of the huge things, like, it's a glaring problem, is that we had like a huge UI at the bottom of the screen to indicate you had the ball or not, right? That is like at the action-packed moments of the game, no one is looking at any UI, looking at their player character, right? So we actually have like the actual orb that follows the player around to indicate like I have the ability to jump, and it follows them around like a little spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy mackerel.
You mentioned that, you know, the synergy. So does that mean that you can complete levels without actually talking to the other player? Like, just by looking at the screen, would you be able to do the puzzle, or do you still need to communicate like
this
with the
voice? Is a great question, and it depends on how well you know your partner. And our liner does it perfectly. I mean, that's granted. Now, put an asterisk on that because we know exactly what to do. But here's the thing, right? Even though we know exactly what to do, I can't anticipate when he's going to pass me the ball so I can jump, right? So what happens is there is a layer of synergy between us where I know when he needs it. Like, I played with him so much. There's a point, this is my another, like, you know, awesome thing that, you know, it's like it's in behavior, not gameplay, but in the people, right? That due to how the game makes you play, right? That, you know, oftentimes you're playing, even in co-op games, right? Games that label themselves as co-op, right? Sometimes you're not really playing together, you're just merely playing at the same time. There's a big difference between the two. Right. And what happens a lot of times is that, you know, after having to share the ability to jump and attack for a long time, instead of me just looking at my character, I start looking at his to see like, oh, I think you're about to need to be able to jump. And so that's kind of how unspoken language of like, it becomes almost like a courteous thing. You find that at the beginning, right? Because we're so used to being individuals that when I can jump, my partner's gonna have to tell me, pass it to me, right? Eventually, once you start to understand how it goes, I'm gonna start looking and be like, no, you don't have to tell me. I know you need it. And that's how you start to get this layer of like compassion between you and your partner. And you can see you can just watch someone play 45 minutes and see the growth between how they start to communicate with one another. It's dope. I like it a lot. It's fun.
That sounds so awesome here. Is it going? So I know, like, the original scope of the project was it to make it a local couch co-op multiplayer game. Is that still the scope, or is there an online component to it, or can you say?
I can't say. It's. I think that right now there is no. I tested peer-to-peer, right? It's not production ready. There's no players that have used it, but I feel like in the modern era, launching a co-op game in today is a little bit I mean, I guess it's a budgeting thing but I personally feel that like a co-op game these days is just like that practical to launch it without at least some sort of online co-op. And I don't mean like matchmaking, but at least you'll send someone to like a friend code or something when they do peer-to-peer. I feel like that is just makes more sense. Like, if I was buying this game, it's quite unrealistic for my friend these days to come in my house and for us to physically play. You know, I feel like that's like a ceremony. You know what I mean? Like that's like an event, but it's not like the practical play session.
Right,
So,
right, yeah.
To answer your question, probably be in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're anticipating seeing new footage of the game tomorrow. Where will we be able to see that new footage of the game?
It'll be on our Twitter and as well as on our TikTok. We have a game page right now already. No post yet, but the game page is up right now as I speak.
Awesome. Okay. And I know I've got the link to the Jump Button Twitter in the description here. So for those watching, you can check the link. And I'm sure we'll be watching the Twitter like a hawk tomorrow to see if it gets posted here. So I guess another question is it still planned on coming to Stadia?
Yeah, it is. I ported it already. I played it on there. Yeah. It's
I don't see it in libraries.
Oh yeah. I haven't pushed it to production yet. But I ported it already.
Nice.
It's good.
Fully functional.
I liked it.
It's like, okay, so before there's of course the inevitable question of could you give us a time frame? But before I ask that, when porting it over to Stadia, how, like, can you maybe tell us a little bit about the experience? Was it like pretty straightforward? Did you come across any obstacles, or I mean, like, just a general, because you know the Stadia audience is always curious about development on Stadia. So when we have someone here like you, we always like to ask those questions on what are your thoughts or impressions, or what was your experience like?
It was good. I think the docs are good. I mean, for what I needed it to do, the docs were good. Now, granted, like, I did it to make sure that it worked.
Yep.
Right, I got the dev kit, and I was like, okay, like, I need to make sure this works. And I have this, like, big computer in my house for no reason. So, ported it, and then, it was good. The docs are good. I enjoy, obviously, they have their C# wrapper, because our game is written in Unity. But, I like that they had the C API. That was really good too, because it just helps to know exactly, because the C# API is just a wrapper over their C API. I'm pretty sure their API is written in C. So yeah, they have really, that's what I like. They have great docs.
That's what we heard, that like their support are pretty good, right? Like
yeah, it's good. It's good. Super valid, because like, dude, you port to other platforms and it's not like that. I'm not lying to you. Like, it's trenches on some other platforms to port on.
Wow. Well,
that's also having a new platform too, because like,
they can build on it, right?
Slack. Yeah, because the other ones are like kind of archaic, right? Because they've been like existed for so long that like there's gonna bound to be a bunch of things on there. So yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So for those people that are just tuning in now, we're talking with Michael here, programmer at Jump Button. His team, or he's part of a team that won a Play Anywhere Game Jam, was one of the 3 winners last year, sponsored by Stadia, to bring, as part of the Stadia Makers program, to bring their game to Stadia. So we're fast forwarding a little past a year here, and we've learned that the game is now no longer called Fragments, but what's it called again, Michael? Because I'm so excited. Our passing.
I'm glad you're
okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. So our passing thoughts. When might we be able to see this on Stadia? Would you be able to answer something like that, like a general question?
You know, even right now, it's actually something that I have to talk about, because I have this idea, to be totally honest, of doing a demo on there. I'm interested.
Man, that'd be great. Yeah.
I'm interested in the idea of just like allowing folk to be able to play it anywhere. Like
Mhm.
that was funny because it was called Play Anywhere Game Jam. But anyway, I like that idea. But I mean that sincerely. Like I like that idea because like I don't know. Like granted, most people do their demos on Steam, and maybe I would do it on Steam anyway. But at the same time, sometimes I think about like, man, that'd be kind of cool to like people that the user base, right? That may not play Steam folk, right? Perhaps they don't have a beefy computer because they're a console folk, right? They don't need a beefy computer. So like, I mean, I guess the alternative to that is to port a demo on every platform, but then it's like, so I thought about that and I like that idea, and I just kind of like experimenting. I think I'm a little bit obsessed with the era of like, dude, if I can send someone a QR code when their game could load, like I don't care what anybody says or how they feel about cloud gaming. Like you gotta think about the future. Like that's cool, bro.
You're right.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Like and I said this when I first talked to one of the like Stadia staff. I was like, dude, I have a vision of the future where like you can put like a sticker somewhere on a train station in a park, something like that. Someone can scan that QR code and their game loads. Like that's the future.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
I love that.
Exactly.
You can already do that with like web-based games. Oh, sorry, I apologize.
Right. Oh no. Go ahead. Sorry. There's just a small delay there.
No, I was gonna say you can already do that with web-based games, but once you're coding in JavaScript and HTML5, you're already hitting the ceiling of like, well, what you can do, right? So the idea of like, because you when you scan a QR code, you're expecting a certain kind of experience, right? Because you know a QR code represents something on the web, and when you think of the web, you're not thinking of a AAA title or like a full-fledged experience, right? So as soon as you launch a QR code with the preconceived notion that this is going to be a web thing, that's what we've trained to represent. But it's like a full-fledged experience. Like I just think that I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit obsessed
we
with
got Marcus in the chat here says he's been dropping Stadia QR codes in his neighborhood. So
yeah,
like
it's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So could we say, is it possible maybe sometime later this year we might be able to see it on Stadia?
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
Okay.
That's definitely possible.
Okay. All right. So it's something to look forward to anticipate really tomorrow. We're hoping to see that new footage. So we can't wait to see that. We'll definitely be showing it and talking about it here next week on the show if it's released. But wow, like this is awesome. It sounds like so much has changed in just a year.
Let me show a picture to my camera.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Now, Michael, if you want to, there's a button there where you can share local if you want. If you have something on your computer that you would like to share, we don't want to be pushy. We respect everybody, but if it's there.
All right, let me just send this photo. I got you. I'm gonna do this one.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is cool. This photo is no biggie for sure. All right, check it out. Is it there?
So let's see.
Let me just open it up.
Okay.
It's loaded.
Okay. Oh, you send it to yourself and then you're sharing it. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I send it to myself and then I open up my computer. All right, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sweet.
Yep. So you can do that here.
Where is it? Screen 3? Yeah, right. Can you see my screen?
Not. Oh,
there you go.
Okay. So here it is. So we're gonna bring it up here. This is what it
looks like. Now.
Oh wow.
Wow, it's a lot more artistic than it
so this is our title
for sure. Wow.
Oh wow, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Our passing thoughts. Wow.
This is the game.
Oh my gosh,
Right,
I can't even.
And then
I was so excited just based upon last year's footage to play it.
I see.
Man, those characters looks awesome.
They look pretty cool, right?
Doesn't it?
Right? Yo,
I do.
they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
They look pretty cool.
That looks pretty.
I got this one for you too. I'll show this because this one is not going to be in the video, and you guys probably won't play this because the demo that you play will probably be a lot different. So I'll show this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this one ready.
Do these characters have names here that you're showing us on this right now, or?
Oh, did we?
Hope we didn't
completely lose
him
him this time? Yeah. I see that he has maybe a little bit of trouble with his connection, but
yeah, it could be. Darn Rogers.
Who can't tell? They do have, but code names we call them Mushroom Head and Lily Pad.
Nice.
Mushroom Head and Lily Pad. That's their code names. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. This is what it's like right now.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Ooh. Oh, they look way better. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's no the big sword thingy is not there anymore. So is there still like this is ranged character?
Yeah.
Nice.
There still is a ranged character and such.
Oh, okay, cool.
You'll see the rest in the videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, this is awesome. Our passing thoughts is I really can't wait to see the trailer tomorrow, the footage tomorrow for it. It's going to be so awesome. Even more so, I can't wait to get my hands and play on it. Ninja, I know this is a game we definitely have to play together. We can use Parsec, right? Like we could use Parsec to play because Ninja and I are about 12 or 13 hours apart. So we can use, since Stadia, you can just play on a browser on PC. Any game that doesn't have the online component to it, we could just use Parsec to play, which we've done so before. So this is awesome. I can't wait to try this. Wow. It looks
hopefully
so fantastic. I don't know if...
Oh my god. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
By the time that we get it onto Stadia, that you won't need Parsec. That's the main thing that's kind of keeping me back from doing a public demo, because I just want to have like local co-op only in a public demo. I feel like by the time I go, like for me personally, I feel like by then it should have a capability of connecting two peers.
You know what? I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm happy to hear you mention that, because I mean, local co-op, like you pretty much like laid it all out earlier. You know, it's kind of like in a day and age of today, an online component of some point, of some stature, really, like you kind of expect, like you really don't, like people don't go over to other people's houses to play games, as you know, not nearly as much as 20 or 25 years ago, you know, when that was the norm, right? Like really before the internet was like popular and the online play was even doable, you know. So that's awesome to see. I'm really glad to hear that that's a component that you're thinking and going to be implementing into the game. Wow. I don't know if anybody in the chat's got questions for Michael here. Maybe if you'd like to ask while we've got them.
Yeah, and while we wait for that, Michael, I was wondering, would you consider having any beta testers for the Stadia version of the game? Because I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a beta testing feature with Stadia that you can use called channels. And you know, if you ever want any people to try it out, you know, feel free to check that out and see if you can get some beta testers for your game.
I would love that. That's a great idea, actually. Like, yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, you know where the first two. We would definitely love to be able to do that there and help in, you know, provide feedback and whatnot. It looks like here Raphael's got a question here. It says, Michael, what do you like the most in Boston? I've lived there 7 years, around Jamaica Plain.
I live mad close to. I mean, not to IP myself, but I live pretty close to. What do I like most in Boston? Okay, to be honest, so I've spent a lot of time in New York. I spent a lot of time. Well, I haven't spent that much time on the West Coast, but I've been there like a handful of times. I like the most about Boston is that for me personally, it represents. I mean, this also could be a product of that's where I live, but it represents my character the best. What do I mean by that? Like, okay, if I go to New York, right? New York is very like you can feel it in the air. Like New York feels busy, right? Like I don't know if you guys ever been there, but like you can feel that like the air said you're supposed to be doing something, right?
Right.
And I don't know. I feel like Boston gives me the best balance of like it's where Harvard is, where MIT is. It's very studious. It's a very, very studious place to be, but it also has that air, that sense of urgency that New York has, right? Because there's times when like I'm not really feeling like, you know, being out and about and doing all this interview stuff. There's sometimes I just want to be studious and just like study and shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like some days I just want to program, read some books, and just that's it. And I feel like Boston allows me to do that. If I go to New York, I feel like I can't do that. Like I feel like I'm always in one mode. I feel like Boston gives me the best balance. That's what I like about it the most.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's definitely a great answer here.
And it has the best indie scene of games.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does.
yeah.
It 100% does. 1000%. I promise you that it has the best one.
Nice.
Wow.
I know that Texas is a very good state also for video games, but Boston, yeah, definitely.
Toby
Okay,
Fox
so
is
it looks
from
like-
here. I'm from there.
So it looks like Raphael's got like a follow-up question here or a comment. It says your game looks great and innovative. Have your team had like your inspiration from nothing?
No,
Nope.
not at all. And It Takes Two is great, but no, not at all. I suppose they're similar in like their goals, which is good, right? Because we need more games that are like this, that are trying to do this, that really focus on the interpersonal connection between two players. But no, I wouldn't say that we took inspiration from it per se. I think they're just two games that perhaps have similar like end goals, right? Are trying to communicate similar ideas, but in ways
Vastly different. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So Paul here has a question is, what was the game that made you want to create games? Like what inspired
Great
you
question.
to want to be, yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking about it. I know this answer. It's a PS1 classic. It's called Xeno. It's my favorite game.
Xenogears, hell
ever.
yeah.
That is my favorite game
Nice.
of all time. And I think it's because that was the first time I had played a game. I was young, reading like the text, and that game is dark. And I think it was a time when I was reading it like, oh wait, like they're telling me a story. And I kind of like glitched for a second. And I was like, oh, they're trying to like communicate something to me. Like it was the first time it was like that time I broke the bear, like, oh wait, I'm not really just playing a game. And I was like, oh, people are telling stories like this. And then like I think that kind of like took it off from there. And I really enjoyed the main guy schizophrenia and stuff. And there's like a lot of mental health is like super important in like my life. And so I really, really, really enjoyed a creator that would go that hard for it and make a story that was based upon that. It's awesome to me.
That's so awesome to hear, you know, coming straight from the heart and things like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So happy that the studio went on to do their own game, right? Like they went to do Saga and Xenogears.
Oh, I have all of them, dude. That game
That's awesome.
is
The
my
music
heart
also,
and
right?
soul. The music
The
is
music is
so
so good.
It is some of the best scores I've ever heard.
It's my
bro.
favorite.
Like I remember being in
Yeah.
my room
Yeah.
and being like, "Yo, is this real life? This is insanity."
I know,
And
right?
remember playing
I don't
it
know how.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
how
I
they
remember
did it.
playing
in
it
a
again.
game?
Yeah, I played it again when
Yeah.
I was like 16, I think 16 or 17. And I remember playing it and just sitting there. And I remember putting the controller down a couple times and being like, bro, this is magnificent. This is ridiculous. And I just like that game. That's a wonderful one. Wonderful one.
That's awesome. So I guess maybe I have a question here. How did you, for those that maybe be aspiring programmers such as yourself here, how did you learn to do what you do? Like familiarize learn Unity and learn your programming. Did you go to school for it, or was it self-taught, or?
I mean, piece of paper. Yeah, I went to school for self-taught. But like,
okay.
I think that, yeah, like by the time I was enrolled in college, I'm almost positive I could have did a thesis by then. So like, it wasn't, yeah, I just got a piece of paper. But I think that what I would say is, dude, I think the most important thing, I'm the wrong person to ask because like push somebody away. This is like meta, and I might sound like I'm nitpicking, but just like hear me here for a second, right? I think this is very freaking important for new game designers, someone that wants to make games, right? This is nitpicking, but hear me. I think that even though it doesn't sound as cool, right? At the end of the day, right? In this digital world, at least, not gonna get philosophical and say what a game is, but in the digital landscape, right? A game is just a simulation, right? I think it's very important for us to consider ourselves simulationist, right? And call ourselves simulationists before game designers. Even though in the public, it just sounds cool to say game designers. Why do I say that? Because I think the most important part to answer your question of how did I learn is that the important part is about saying to yourself, or for me at least, right? It was that it was never enough. To be honest, like I'm in love with programming, but not because I have some like intrinsic love for computers. I just like committing my ideas to people. Like I'm just like a communicator. That's what I like. And it just so happened I was technically inclined, and then I learned how to communicate my ideas on a computer. The reason I bring up the simulation idea is because I think that when I see this all the time, and just like internet devlogs and just like people just making shit on the computer, and maybe I just take the craft so seriously, but I just feel like as soon as you say that you're making a game, right? If you like believe that too much, right? You internalize that, and then like I feel like it boxes you in on the types of like experiences that you make.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like people do that, and so the reason why I say simulation is because the game is just a simulation I'm creating, and I feel like once you say like a game, right? You comes with all these preconceived notions of like it has to be fun. I need this. I need that, and like like that's just like a special type of simulation, a game, right? But I think once you take a step back and say, I'm just going to make some simulation to communicate some idea, it just happens to be fun. I find that you can lend yourself to making different kinds of experiences. But when a kid grows up and says, I just want to make games, I feel like it pigeonholes their creativity. Like me right now, right? Like I can take the same skills that I have right now and do like one of those like little immersive experience shows, or like some Van Gogh or like museum stuff, right? It's all in the same realm. But like I might not do that if I think that my skills are just for games. And I think that the more we see that the technology lives in our bedroom, as it bleeds out, right? The more game designers to realize that, dude, you're not just making games. Like if you realize if you internalize you're making simulations, then you can see clearly that your skills, right, are pulling every, multiple different sectors, right? And you can make these kind of like interactive experiences that, we see as games, but as the artist and as creator, if you stop seeing it as games, it's something more, like the world will just be a lot better, bro. So I guess what I'm saying in moral is like take it like it's more about, I don't know, I get up every day and I program saying like, what am I trying to say? Like I don't really think about like, this is not something a game that I should say, but like I obviously think about how can I have fun. Like I understand the world that I live in, but at the same time, like it's not enough for me to get up. Like, yeah, sorry. I think about this shit all the time, but I'm not gonna lie.
But this is so awesome because this is what I love. Like when I talked with you last year, it's like you're all about the creativity, thinking outside the box, no restrictions, and I think it's this that allows you to create these one-of-a-kind, unique experiences. You don't have a checklist of, okay, I've got to have this, this, and this. Just like you said, you're trying to communicate, you're trying to share your thoughts, your story, and you create it around that, not around a specific mold or a template that you need to do. And I think that's what makes you like, it's awesome. Like I just love and the creativity and the positivity that you just like emit just talking to you.
It's a passion,
see,
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a passion.
Yeah, you can see like this isn't something you're just doing to make money or whatever. Like this is something you truly believe in. This is, like Ninja said, your passion, your love for it. You're pouring your heart and soul into it, and these qualities make fantastic experiences. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm so
lucky.
excited to try your game here.
I will say that I am lucky that it happens to be like all like what I'm saying sounds sweet. It just happens that like the games that I make happen to be fun, really, really fun. But I'm gonna be totally honest, and I don't know if like, you know, the universe might bite me, but like, dude, I would be like, it's just about communicating ideas. Like, you know, there's this game, right? Called Mosaic, I think it's called. That's like about like a 9-to-5 life. And like it got roasted, I think, because it was boring, right? But like the game is about life being boring. So like at what point do we say, right? Like, well, did it do its job, right? But like if you believe that like the game is only a means for like dopamine or it's supposed to have fun, then like yes, then but if we believe that this is just a simulation communicating an idea, then it succeeded, right? So I say all that because I know the game has to be fun. I don't want to be like Mosaic. I want people to say my game is mad fun. Like, but I love what they did because it's important, right? It's super duper important. And so I'm not saying don't make your games fun, man. Like you gotta we all have to sell, but like yeah.
So we've got a question here. Are there going to be any achievements in the game?
I thought of that, but what we do have, we haven't really scoped it out, but what we are in love with is the idea of like of speedrunners doing stuff. We might have like different kind of challenges, like pass this challenge with only passing the ball X amount of times, right? Or like you got through this by only passing it X amount of times. So like that's super hard. And well, some of it's hard, some of it's easy, but I think that's how, because at that point we're talking about a sense of like you player to player efficiency now, right? Of like only get through this passing it 10 times. So we have those cases and stuff like that. So by that question is there are kind of achievements because we already have ideas like that.
That's awesome. I saw Ninja's eyes light up as soon as you mentioned that there.
Speedrun,
he's definitely speedrunner, and definitely you love challenges. So that's great to hear. Project Storm in the chat here has got a question. He says, "Hey Michael, the game looks great. Which character are you most connected to? You can't say both."
Damn, I don't want to say favorites. To be honest, though, personally, okay, damn.
Well, I mean, if you don't if you can't answer, if there's like certain because you don't want to give anything away right now, that's totally okay. You know, like I mean, you can just tell us that.
I think like I'm in love with the lily pad girl. I really just like it's such a funny story how that character came about, which is beyond the scope of this call. But I really like it too, like to not to like, you know, try to do your question, but like first of all, in terms of design, I really like the lily pad one because I think like first of all, I just like strong female characters. I think she's really, really cool. I like the lily pad head. I think it's cool, it's fresh. I really like it. It's like a little bit like I don't really see that. It looks kind of off, but it looks dope. Like I like it a lot. But I don't really have a connection. So that's kind of the answer to my favorite character. But I really have a connection to the gameplay And I say that in like not in a cliche way of like, oh, because the game is fun, but I mean that like I have like a very, very intimate and strong connection to like the gameplay and like how it makes you play. Like I get super emotional when I watch people play it. It's kind of embarrassing. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. It might sound dramatic, but like I really, really do. Like, because I get really emotional watching like the constraints that we impose on people. Naturally, that's just what rules do. I get really emotional watching you know, navigate people in a way that lends itself towards communication and synchronization. Like that shit makes me so emotional and like makes me love my job. So yeah.
And I think
Michael,
that's awesome too, because like you getting emotional over that is because you can see that the ideas that you're conveying are actually clicking with others. You don't have to tell them. It just naturally happens because of the experience you created. So that's like I would assume like that's like a joy, like you feel like so like happy and excited inside that, you know, what I was trying to convey, what I was trying to tell, people are getting it. And like, you know, again, you're so passionate about it that it's just amazing.
Yeah, and the way you speak, Michael, I feel like maybe in the long run you'll become a game director, because I feel like you like to show your vision, right, to people. So I feel like this is one of your hat of what you do, right? Because of that, you know.
Dude, I am so blessed to be a part of. Is there a job at Game Studios for someone to pitch ideas? Yeah, like a game designer might do that. But anyone usually pitches ideas. But so to answer your question, I am, or to respond, I am so like blessed, and blessed is the only word I could say to have. This also makes me emotional a lot of the times too, because like beyond the scope of this conversation too, even like the origin of this game, like, you know, even in my personal life. But dude, it I didn't draw any of these pictures, right? Like I didn't draw that, right? I didn't like those puzzles there. I didn't make that, right? Like, no, it's about, like you said, not only to the player, but I get super emotional sometimes, even in the meetings. I don't be saying it. Thank God we don't have our cameras on sometimes. But like when I watch us work, right? And I just watch like the symphony of game production, I get so emotional about that, because I'm just like, dude, like I get super emotional and I get grateful, because I look at them and I'd be like, well, first of all, thank you guys for understanding what I was trying to say. Thank you guys for like, you know, putting a piece of yourselves in there too, and the kind of like vulnerability it takes to even make this kind of work, because this game, like the ideas that we're putting in here requires us to be honest with ourselves, right? Like what does communication really mean, in good or bad, right? So like I get super emotional about this kind of shit. I'm not lying. Super dramatic, but yeah.
No, that's awesome.
I like what Project Storm here says Corey Barlog's emotions caused me to buy God of War twice. Just saying. So yeah, I mean, putting emotion in your game, I feel that it's a good idea. Actually, the Xeno series is my top series of all time because of that, right? Because they put so much emotion in your stories. Same with Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite series just because they do that. I don't know. For me, even like nowadays, I don't feel like there's enough games with emotional stories. Like I feel like they've kind of put that away, because like the PS1, PS2 eras, there were so many good games with good stories. But I feel like this is forgotten, and maybe you know, hopefully it gets back.
And one of the things, right? And this is I have a love-hate relationship. A lot of people on this is like a point of contention that me and John then are on there on the team. We talk about this a lot, but I have a huge love-hate relationship with stories in games, despite me talking about Xenogears. I sometimes some days I'm super radical and I say like I don't think any game needs a story ever, and some days I think we need it. Some, like, honestly, if it wasn't for John, this game might look the same, but I might have been super radical and took out the story completely and just said I'm going to communicate it strictly through the gameplay, because sometimes I feel that we as a community, right? It's not even just the games. I'm blaming everybody, right? That like I feel that like we use that story as a crutch, like that. Like we humans, like as people, know how to tell stories. We've been doing that for eons. Something that I feel that like we don't communicate ideas in a way that's unique to our medium. I just feel like sometimes we just like rely on the crutch of like writing a good story to make the game emotional, and that's why I get really like hyped up about a game that told me their whole story by just making me interact with its constraints and systems. I think that is when you're really using the medium to its full potential. So sometimes, but like I'm also a sucker for just some good ass writing. So sometimes I'm like, you know what, fine, it's good. But then like other times, even when the story is good, I'm like, man, like, you know, some people make the case, right? And this is, you know, where it's split. Some people make the case, but you need a story because it supports. It's like the symphony idea of like you need like a good story and a good visuals and good mechanics because they all come together to make a great game. And I'm like, yeah, but can you imagine how crazy it was if you just like, it's like when you make a painting black and white, right? Of like, yes, like it's also good when it's in color, but when we make it in black and white, how raw it gets in and of itself. So sometimes I think of like, yes, the symphony idea is cool, but should we strip away the story, right? How much more attention and layers of the game itself, like you do when you get a painting, right? I feel like you're like over explaining when you add all these elements with the reasoning of like, I'm supposed to tell a symphony. Then I just feel like we're just like nailing a head on a hammer too hard sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Vivi here saying, Brothers, The Tale of Two Sons told so much of its story through gameplay.
I cried playing that game, actually. I remember crying.
Yeah.
When I played it on PlayStation 3. Yeah, it was such an emotional game.
For sure.
Yeah,
a little bit like...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was going to say that like... I was pretty much going to say that, and I feel that that goes back to the simulation idea of like... I feel like once you like really look at what is unique, once we as an industry really like internalize what is unique in our medium, I feel like it'll just get respect. And not that I care about respect from other mediums, but I just feel like we can push it and elevate it a little bit further than where it is now. And it's in a great place for its technical merit, but I would really argue that our innovative game design is at snail's pace when it's compared to the technical innovations that come out of it. Right. And that's just because, and I said this in our last thing, that one is a money problem and one is a creativity problem. And a money problem is much easier to solve than a creativity problem, right? So
Yes. Yep. Throw money at it, make it look pretty, get it out there, and people will gobble it up. So, you know, I totally agree. Like, we've reached those heights of like, you know, ray tracing and 4K, 60 FPS, 120 FPS, whatever. But that innovation on the gameplay and the storytelling hasn't followed suit, right? You know, that's still lagging behind. So,
Absolutely.
I definitely...
It's like today, right? If you go to an arcade, right, and you want to play Pac-Man, how am I advertise Pac-Man? Today, the advertising for Pac-Man is going to be that, yo, he is so yellow, and when he's going through the mazes, there's like a glare on his head, and it looks for real. Like, that's how we're going to
it's super shiny
today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, and you'll see Pac-Man's reflection on the ghosts in their eyes, and you know all these technical aspects to it, right?
And it's like trying to play a game. It's like I say this a lot, right? It's like I forgot what year it was, but it was like one of the NBA 2K games, and they did an advertisement of it, and it was like, oh my god, the characters are so realistic. Like the character's beard moves when they're running. Bro, first of all, the camera's out, and I'm trying to play a basketball game. Why do I care about how his beard is moving? And that's just like the pinnacle of like an advertisement.
Or it's like, look, you can see his shoelaces bouncing as he jumps. So like, really? Like,
wait,
I'm not even going to be looking at that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's so good. Project Storm here again says, I agree, Michael. The Last of Us 2 comes to mind. I love the story. It was heavily criticized.
I didn't even play The Last of Us 2 though.
Oh. Yeah, that was a pretty good story. Like I really enjoyed that game. Vivi's got a little lighter question here, a little lighter hearted here. He says, your game was included in a game jam. Other than game jam, what's your favorite jam?
Like sandwich jam?
Well, take it
probably.
take it, yeah, but take it however you want. Like,
okay, so I'll answer both of them. My favorite
Okay.
sandwich jam is strawberry preserves, I think is what it's called.
Mhm.
I like those ones.
Mhm.
That's super yummy. And
Yep.
and then my favorite game jam. Man, I'll be honest with you. These days I don't do as many games as I would like because of just the way like productions go. Maybe that's an excuse and I should make time, but that should happen how my life has been. But my favorite game jam is honestly the game jam that no one hears about, and that's not me being sneaky. I just like the global game jam, but I'm way too competitive. Like I don't even take the game jam as a game jam. I just be trying to win or like whatever the competition is. But I like the everything that I talked about just now. I just when I was younger. Well, I'm still young. When I was in the between when I would like get off like a long project, I would just go on itch and just do like the random ass like game jams that would like last like 2 or 3 days because I just loved, like, it was a time when I didn't have to think about like, oh man, I gotta go to somebody and tell them like gonna make a lot of money and do all this stuff. Like it was just you know, do like my digital sketch almost. So yeah, I find that like with the big game, this is just also a me problem. The big game jams like Ludum Dare or like global game jams, like I don't treat those game jams. I'm like, I'm trying to make something. But the small game jams is when I'm just like, wouldn't this be really weird or da-da-da-da-da?
Right. Yeah.
This was that. Like my weird ideas. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like my weird ideas, quote unquote, that made Fragments between thoughts, right? Like that's why I like that kind of stuff.
So I guess that's a maybe a question I have here. I know we kind of want to wrap up your time here because I know that you're a very busy individual here. How did you come up with the name from it? Like changing from Fragments to like, is there a story behind that, or you know, like how did it go from?
There's a story behind Fragments to that. So there is a story behind that I will keep it omitted for now, but I will say that is it bad if I say why? No, to be honest, I'd rather not say why it's called Our Passing Thoughts. I'll keep it as is. I'm sure that anyone that plays the game can infer why Our Passing Thoughts, but I'd probably rather get an internal why we called it that.
Okay.
Maybe you can tell us why it was initially called Fragments. Where did the name come from?
Oh, dude, like I feel like a lot of indie or any artist feels this. Like sometimes you just name the project something because you have to name it to open it, and like that's just becomes the name. That's the name of it. Right now in our repo, everything is still called Fragments. Like I was just like, bro, it's way too much work to change it. But it was called Fragments because I was just like, all right, man, like you gotta pass stuff. You never have a full, like, you know, you're never like, you never have the whole piece of the story in terms of like how you move about this world because you're sharing it with your partner. So it's, but Our Passing Thoughts is way better and way more meta and way more artsy. This one is it.
I love the new name. The new name.
Yeah,
is awesome.
I do. That is
thank
so
you.
awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna, you know, like I said, we're very cognizant of your time here, and you've already given us well over an hour, and we've loved every single bit of it. We really do appreciate coming back on here, giving us an update, and hearing, you know, about so much that has changed over this past year. I am going to put in the chat here. It's also in the description. It's a link to the Jump Button Twitter. So we are going to keep an eye out on that. Hopefully tomorrow, the new footage of the game is going to hit. Could you? Is there a specific time frame, maybe like afternoon, morning, or just whenever it might happen?
Afternoon. It's gonna be in the afternoon. Probably afternoon. Okay. Literally noon. So like maybe like 1 or 2.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we will definitely keep an eye out for that. Again, Michael, thank you so much. It's
Anytime.
Always enjoyable talking with you here because you're such an inspiring individual. I mean, you even mentioned like just how for how young you are, you have so many stories and experiences, and just in awe to listen to you, to hear you talk and share all your
Thanks,
ideas. It's so amazing. We can't wait to play. Hopefully, sometime later this year on Stadia. You know what? Maybe we'll get you back on when the game launches. We could chat for a little bit and show some streams and get some people to share their thoughts and impressions on the game. I think that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do the beta testing.
Oh
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you're going to do the beta testing, you know where to find us here. We definitely would love to provide feedback on that. Yeah. So with that, just want to say again, thank you. Have a great weekend, Michael, and we will see you all again real soon. Thank you.
Yep. Tune in tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. All right. Take care. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, wow. Some juicy information. Wow. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. Some juicy information indeed. Alrighty. So we've got some news here. I'm going to kind of maybe condense a little bit of the news that we had here. We'll still cover all the major things here, but that was awesome to be able to talk with Michael and hear all about the new game here. I'm really looking forward to the trailer, the footage tomorrow. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, alrighty. So Ninja, I'm going to go ahead here, share my screen. The bot's been advertising it. We've tweeted it as well. We're giving away another Play and Watch with Google TV package and a game of your choice. All you need to do to enter is retweet the tweet, reply, tag a friend, and tell us what you would do with the prize to help spread Stadia. Then you also, to be eligible, you need to be following the Stadium Connect North Twitter account, and then also Ninja and myself on YouTube. We will announce the winner next Friday on Stadium Connect North. And this has always been a great contest that we've had. We've always had so many amazing entries here. And it's just great to see. One of the winners, they went to a YMCA, right, in Germany. There with a kids center there. They had fantastic time. Stadia even got wind of it, sent them all water bottles and shirts and swag. So totally awesome. So if you'd like to enter,
we had Mostly Martinez also with he got it for his kid. His kid was super happy. So very cool to see these people get these prizes.
Yeah, definitely. So head on over. We've got the bots advertising it here to the Stadium Connect North Twitter account, and get your entries in, and we'll be announcing the winner next Friday.
Good luck, everyone.
Yes, good luck. Good luck. Even Snoopy here says good luck. Nice. He's dancing around. Alrighty. So we got this week on Stadia blog post this week. Wasn't a whole lot new in it. A little bit of a review of what we saw last week. Last week was a ton of news about Far Cry 3, Skull and Bones, Valiant Hearts. But we had some surprises here. One of the biggest surprises, we woke up to a new Stadia Pro game, Time on Frog Island. I'll go ahead and share the video here for everyone. This was like out of nowhere from Merge Games here. I know even like Paul, Mr. Bayram Plays, had tweeted out that he had pre-ordered this on another platform in a surprise launch here on Stadia. And being a Stadia Pro game, he canceled his other pre-order here and now enjoying the game here on Stadia. So Ninja, have you had a chance to check out this game and kind of interested in maybe your thoughts or initial impressions?
Yeah, so I didn't play it. I watched Rob play it yesterday. I think he seems to be having fun with it. For some reason, this game doesn't really resonate with me, but I'm not sure why. A lot of people really enjoy it. Maybe it's just because I'm just playing other games and I'm focused on other games at the moment. But yeah, I'll probably try it eventually. But for now, I'm keeping it on the side. What about you, John?
Well, I've actually played it. I gave it a brief so far. Played it for about 30 minutes. So far, I'm finding it enjoyable. I kind of get like an Animal Crossing type of vibes or inspirations from it here and there. So I definitely going to be giving this some more playtime and streaming it probably next week sometime. So
Nice.
yeah, it was interesting though, because it was awesome just to, like this wasn't a game that anyone was expecting at all on Stadia. So that was pretty cool for it to be there.
Lord Vivek here says, I fished this tonight. So tonight he'll go pick up his fishing pole there and fish the game tonight. So have fun with that, Lord Vivek.
Wow. We also got a reminder, came out today, DC League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace from our good friends at Outright Games. This came out today. I see Inley says the Wasabi controller is the game that you need to play with that. Also another game that came out today, Valiant Hearts, The Great War. It has direct touch built into that. And I know
Very
I
nice.
bought the game at midnight. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I know Ninja, you have it as well. Death Alive and Paul has it and various other people. Have you had a chance to play it yet, Ninja? Or
Yeah, I played it this morning, actually. It's a game that I've played long time ago. I think on the PlayStation 3. It's, I think it released around the same time as like Child of Light, around the same year. But yeah, really emotional game. Very, very artistic. The story is awesome. The puzzles are fun. They keep you entertained. But no, I really recommend it. It's a really nice story to experience.
awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I love that it's got the direct touch on it. So I'm gonna see, spend some time on maybe my phone or tablet and seeing how well it plays that way. Another big piece of news: Outcasters. It went free to play. A lot of people have been calling for the game to go free to play. It's been on Stadia Pro, but now you don't even need to have a Stadia Pro subscription to play it. The developers put out a blog post on it, and basically they said, we've heard what you've been saying, and now Outcasters is free to play. They essentially said that, they've moved on to development of other games. So I really don't think we're going to see anything as far as content-wise on Outcasters. I kind of get the feeling like they're saying, okay, it's free to play. We're not going to add any more to it, but enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I know Fletch is a big fan of this game as well. He has, I believe, a stream set up for tomorrow. He's going to be doing some giveaways. Death Alive is another big fan of it, and I've all heard them mention, or anybody that's talking about the game, Petter Games as well, saying that now that it's went free to play, they're seeing more and more people. It's easier to get into matches and not all bots. So that's always good to hear. I mean, you can never complain. Free to play. I mean, that's great to hear.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that there's no like currency or anything you need to buy or any cosmetics that you need to buy. It's completely free, and it's crazy to me to see that they did that. But it's a very nice surprise.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. And now there are over 100 trials available on Stadia. Wow, they kicked that off earlier this year and then said that they were going to open this up to more of the publishers. Well, just in the last, I think, what is it, month and a half, they've put so many out. There's well over 100 trials. So that means you don't even have to have like an account there. You can try over 100 games on Stadia just to see if you like it. And I think that's awesome. Anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. Like, I mean, you can't beat that, right? Like that's awesome. And I think it's just another step forward here in the evolution of the platform that the vision is coming. Sure, we would have loved to have seen this earlier, but it is what it is, and there's reasons for it, but it's here now. And I think that's great. Like other platforms require a subscription on a certain level to be able to have demos and trials and things like that. Well, here we are in Stadia, well over 100 games that you can try with just a click of a button. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's so easily accessible, which is amazing. Like I hope that a lot of more people get to give it a try, because now you just click it and there you go, you're inside. So yeah, that's awesome. Fletcher says ridiculous amount of trial time. Reminds me of the old demo disc with many games on there. I remember the demo disc that used to come in magazines and things like that. I remember going to the store and the gaming magazines, of course, they'd be wrapped in plastic. Someone would rip it open and steal the demo disc and just leave. Come on.
It's just so. But boy, have times changed. But it's great to see. I love this idea of getting at least 30 minutes with a game for you to be able to try it. It's fantastic. Just more people to be able to access Stadia and try the platform for itself to see how well it performs on their devices and their internet connection.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. We also had an announcement yesterday. Atari, Centipede Recharge has really hit the Stadia community in a positive way. I think you and I were talking before going on the air here, and we were saying, really didn't have, when they announced that Centipede Recharge was coming, it was like, okay. I think we were talking on Discord too, and mentioned to Fletch, is like, really, if you're not a fan of the older one, you really wouldn't have too much interest in this. Well, boy, was I wrong, because a lot of people are playing this Centipede Recharge there and just having a blast with it, with the challenges and whatnot. So it's great to see here. Yars Recharged is coming to Stadia as well as other platforms later this year. We got that announcement, like I said, just the other day here. And let's look at this. Ninja, did you play the original on the Atari, or have you played any other versions of it?
I think I played it. I had an Atari long time ago. I think I did, but I used to own the original soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
It was it was published by Kid Stuff, I think it's called, and they tell like a story throughout the vinyl, and their songs. Like there's one song that's very synthetic anyway, with synthesizers and stuff. And it's so funny. But I have good memories of Yars Revenge because of the soundtrack.
I can see this being another hit in the Stadia community with all the different challenges and leaderboards and whatnot. Plus it's pretty too. Like it just looks beautiful.
Man, I hope it means that it's like that Atari and Stadia keeps their relationship, because I've been following the Amico, and the reason why I'm so much into it is because of all of these arcade games, right? So now that Atari brings these games to Stadia, it's just going to be so much fun. Like it's going to scratch that hitch of just playing these arcade games finally.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And it's scheduled for later this year. I'm trying to see if in the press release there, I don't remember that it says exactly when.
Later this year, it says.
So later this year. So that's just another game coming from Atari. I think there were originally 4 more, right? So now there's 5, I think, that are coming here. So that's awesome to see more support for the platform and just a wide variety of different games to play. it's great to see. I love that. It's
I can't wait.
a very pleasant surprise. This next piece of news that we have comes courtesy of our good friend Death Alive. He posted this over on the Discord, and I thought this was so awesome. Earlier this year, there was a little bit of a controversy and hubbub over the hidden object games coming on Stadia. Some people were like, "Oh no, we don't want to play mobile games on Stadia. This is going to be the death of Stadia. We want AAA." Well, you know what? These games did really well. Legacy Games post it here. It's on LinkedIn, and they say this is so cool. In March and April, we launched hidden object games on Stadia. We had no idea how they would perform. Both were Stadia Pro games. They were the first of that genre on the platform. Fast forward, both games did well, especially Adam Wolf. If you want to try out the Stadia technology, click out this instant demo. So they got a link so you can play the trial on there. When they post it here, it says, I played this on PC, on Mac, and Android, and it worked just as advertised. Here's the key part here, too. The second takeaway of this little bit of posting here. Please contact us if you're interested in porting your game to this new platform. So again, having a wide variety of games, I think, is crucial. These hidden object games are not for everybody, and I'm the first to admit it. I'm not going to say, these are multi-million-dollar sellers or however anybody wants to categorize it here, but they do well. Casual gaming has its place. Stadia Pro helped, I'm sure, in amplifying these games here. So I would expect probably we're going to see similar type games in the future, because these, both of these games did pretty well. I know, did you play Adam Wolf, Ninja, I think?
Yeah, I finished it. Because it was so much fun. Like, it's one of the best hidden object game I've ever played. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, I think they're good, like, just to be able to kill some time, right? Like, if you don't really want to get into something too heavy or whatever, they've got pretty interesting stories, right? They can be cheesy at times, and this is also, I think, like, fun to play with somebody else, because like when you're trying to see on the screen there, well, what should I do next? Where should I click? What do you think is going to happen? So I think these are also fun to play, like, with somebody else, like playing together along, although they're not multiplayer games at all, but I think it's cool. So
yeah, my spouse is a big fan of hidden object games. Like she bought so many, and when they came out, I think that she finished them before me. So she was really into them. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like aim at a specific type of people, right? Because these games do well, they really do well, but it's just aim at a different type of gaming community. So it's something to consider. Like Fletch says here, he says, Adam Wolf was great, but was not a fan of City Legends at all. So it depends on your taste. But City Legends is a lot more of the the formula that the hidden object game has. So yeah.
So that's good news. Again, Death Alive shared that little bit of news with us here on Discord. A big shout out to Death Alive and everybody on Twitter and Discord for finding all these little bits of information. I never would have thought. I don't know how he found it on LinkedIn. I don't even care, but it's awesome. He always comes up with these great little tidbits of information and links to sites and stuff like that. So thank you, Death Alive, for sharing that news here on these hidden object games.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty. So I guess we'll kick it on over to you, Ninja, here for your community news.
Yeah, so let's jump into the community news, guys. And the first thing we would like to talk about is the Summer Community Championship, or Cloud Gaming Championship on Stadia Summer 2022. I think we changed the name, but all the same. So the tournament is back. As you can see, it's a seasonal thing. Me and John are part of the community, and we're working on, doing the event. And the summer is kicking off next week. So on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, We have the first game, and we have the first 2 week announced. We got week 1 with Hitman 1. Don't want to say too much about it, but we do have a certain specialist helping us working on this challenge. So keep a lookout for that. Game 2 is Centipede Recharged, which we just talked about. There you go. I'm the one who prepared the challenge for this one. You guys are gonna have fun. It's gonna be very frustrating, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, I can't
wait. Sorry, I was just gonna say I can't wait to see. Like, I have memories of us, back at the Winter Community Championships, watching the other games of people competing and stuff like that. So I can't wait to see, because there's gonna be, I'm sure there's gonna be like different tips and tactics that the people use to be able to learn, like you never would have thought of. So like that's gonna be awesome to be able to see.
Yeah, and the people participating from the last 2 championship were completely different. So we got some. Last championship was crazy. Like, I don't think I would have been as close to where I was in the first one, because there were so many good competitors. I'm really looking forward to see what they have this year also. Have we announced the racing with Ryan as game 3 yet? No, but we did announce Peppa Pig for week 4. So.
In the finals, right? A speed run of Peppa Pig, right?
Can you imagine it? And it has to be co-op.
Yep.
Oh man. And yeah, so it's the summer championship always has a bigger prize pool. So the $500 is the grand prize. Runner-up will be $250, and yeah, you can register right now. And we do have a Discord if you want to join in and learn more about the championship. It's really fun. You don't need to be like an expert, because it's the first 16 players who get the best score who gets into the finals. And you have a big chance of getting in there if you participate in all of the weeks. So hopefully you can get in there. Week 3 and week 4 are going to be announced later on. Looking forward to it. But the finals games, I think, are pretty much set in stone. We got the rules done, and it's going to be very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, John?
Oh, definitely. I see Vivi here in the chat is also alluding, says also don't forget the finals.
Well,
I think
actually,
I think this is gonna this is gonna be very awesome. You've got some news to talk about that as well.
Exactly. So Original Penguin, which is one of the organizer, also says, I tell you how awesome the finals would be, but unreleased games comes with NDAs. You should sign up if you haven't yet. So what he's talking about is that we've also said that in the finals, we're including an unreleased game. So just to let you know, guys, it is an announced games for Stadia, but it is not released yet. And this is the only hint I'm going to give you guys. I look for it in the future. But what this means is that you'll be able to play a game that is not even released yet if you end up in the finals. So, and it's not going to be released yet, even at the finals. So it's a really good opportunity for you to give that a try. So, it is confirmed, like we have it set in stone, and it's going to be very cool. So hopefully you can get to try this game. Any thoughts on that? I'm trying not to spoil there. It's really hard.
Yeah, I know. So head on over to the Stadia Wiki, Ninja and InLead. Take care of that, and you can peruse that. I think we can say, is it safe to say, Ninja, that the game is on the wiki?
It is on the wiki, yes.
Okay, all right. So there we go. So the answer is right in front of your eyes.
Yep.
So I can't wait to hear all the different speculation and thoughts, and I'm really excited to see these finals when people get their hands on this and are able to play it, because it's going to be awesome.
Exactly. All right, so before we spoil anything, let me jump onto the next community news here. So we've got a new APK out for Android. So what does that mean is that there's a new version for the application on Android for Stadia that came out, and we've got some cool hints here with Stadia Dosage, who digs into the code to tell us what has changed. So on July 12th, 2022, looks like the Android app is gearing up to support esports events. So if you look at a few line of codes here, you can see that it says sports, immersive match. So maybe we'll have something with esports integrated inside Stadia, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We got a spectator kind of mode, I think, which could be cool. So we have streaming enabled for like direct to YouTube streaming. But so I'm curious to see what spectator will be. Maybe it's going to be like a private video that you can share with people without taking YouTube into consideration. So that's going to be cool. We've got new strings here that says media player. Again, it's very interesting. What is your guess on that, John? I'm gonna ask you first.
Boy, I don't know. I don't know if the media player is something to do with that spectator mode, or right, or if it's something to do. I don't know. Like I know that there's been also talk about the AV1 codec as well, but I don't think this has anything to do with it. I think it's something to do with the spectator mode or being able to watch those streams from your friends or other people on Stadia, maybe through an integrated media player in the browser.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I was thinking, you make a lot more sense, but I was thinking maybe you could play music in the background of your stream somehow, but I don't know if that would make sense either.
I know it's quite possible. Yeah, for sure.
So other than that, there's a lot of stuff actually. We've got reactions to captures on the Explore tab. So that's cool. We've got an update on the Explore tab last year, which is cool. I actually haven't been on it a lot, I must admit that, and I should be going a lot more because it is very fun to scroll through people's captures and stuff. So hopefully we get some new updates on the Explore tab for sure. I would love to spend more time on it. Maybe we can leave some comments at some point, like Facebook. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. So
that would be awesome.
If you make this capture private, related posts will be hidden and you will lose reactions. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Other than that, Google is going to start providing some proactive information about what may be affecting your experience. So that is interesting.
Yeah. I see that there where it says about there are too many players in your area right now. So possibly ramping up for
Mexico,
maybe expansion into the other countries there. So that's interesting to see.
Have you guys ever had a situation where you couldn't join, you couldn't go in Stadia because there was too much people on it? That never happened to me.
I don't think I've never had that happen. No.
Yeah, that's so. Like maybe because they didn't have to integrate it because they had enough servers, capacity to do it. So, but maybe because of Mexico, they calculated that maybe that we're gonna have to have a queue at some point, which is good. I mean, the more people we get, the more money they get, so we get more expansion. So, looking forward to that. And then we got more references to the new touch controller icon. So from what we've seen, maybe there's some customization that we'll be able to do with the touchpad, which will be cool. And many more. I think
there's a lot in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think so. There was a lot more than I thought there when you were scrolling. I was like, okay, that's it. No, there's more. But yeah, there's a whole lot in there. So it's exciting to see all these different strings that could pan out to something, and they might not be anything at all. So, but it's interesting just to see and dig in there.
Yeah, I love it. We get to have like a glimpse of the future, right? So it's kind of cool. Interesting what Raphael here says. He says during Cyberpunk, first minutes where there were errors, but no specific page coming up.
Okay, yeah.
It's possible that you just don't have something integrated, and when it happens, you get an error, right? So it's quite possible.
Yep.
All right. So next up, we've got a tease from Carson Kelly. He says, working on something special. Stay tuned. So from the looks of it, this is a video footage that he has that he's working on that'll be put publicly. So looking forward to that. I know that a few weeks ago, he had issues with recovering data on his computer, but I don't think we've heard anything back from him. So it looks like he's on track, which is nice. And I'm looking forward to see what this game will be. I love the graphics, I love the colors, to be honest, and the aesthetics that he's put. So it's gonna be very cool to run around with a dog in this environment.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Next up, we got Papa Bear Gaming, who actually found something very interesting with their Chromecast with Google TV. So Papa Bear Gaming is actually a very cool streamer, a content creator. He's been rising pretty much, lately, the last few months. He's actually put his camera on. I think he bought a camera lately, and now he has his face on stream. I really like his voice. His voice is very soothing. I don't know why, but yeah, I really like. I really encourage you guys to give him a follow. Papa Bear, he does very interesting stream, in my opinion. But he discovered that now when you turn on your controller with the Stadia, it actually turns Stadia on the Chromecast with Google TV. So this used to be an issue where people, they had to use the remote control of the Chromecast and go on Stadia, click it, and then it opens up and stuff. But now they probably try to put it more user friendly, and you can actually open it with your controller now, which is interesting. I think I have a video actually with him doing it. Yep. So turning on the TV from standby, Chromecast with Google using only Stadia controller. I think the video was a little bit already on when he started it up, but we'll see if it restarts here. There you go.
Yeah.
So his TV is off, and it basically does what the Chromecast Ultra. Okay. Yeah. Does. Yeah. So it's nice that they're integrating that. So. Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, so it starts up and you see it opening up. So last but not least, Outbreak. They did another poll, and they wanted to ask us, which platform you were interested to get Outbreak on, and of course, the Stadia community came in, and they voted for Stadia. So this is good for Urichizu, the developer, because what this does to him is that it let Google know that there's some interest in the game, so it helps him, give in some attention and get to have, what he's requesting, or his pitch for Stadia. So hopefully, we can get it out there. We did a lot of hashtag bring Outbreak to Stadia. We did a lot of retweet, me and John, lately. We're really trying to push it, because I think that putting a lot of posts and everything to the community and stuff, it's helping Google decide if this game should come on Stadia or not. So, crossing fingers. Hopefully we'll get it. I personally really like the series. I finished 6 out of 7 games.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy them. They're really, really fun. But it's not for everyone. It is. There's a lot of reviews out there that just doesn't show that they like the game. But it all depends on your taste. If you like the old Resident Evil games, then really fun.
Exactly. I think this poll is pretty awesome. There was 470 people there, and about 70%, 69.4, 70% of people that voted for Stadia. So that is pretty freaking awesome. It looks like he's going to have some type of a reveal of the next game in early August. So I hope that this helps send the message to Stadia here. It'll be interesting. I know I'll be tuned in, you'll be tuned in, and probably the entire Stadia community is going to be tuned in to that event on August the 2nd to learn more about Outbreak here. We had him on the show. He's such an awesome individual to talk to, and very informative. And again, this is another instance where the community's reaching out and telling a developer, hey, we want to see your game on Stadia, because he had no idea what Stadia was before this. 3 or 4 months ago now, he had no clue. So like you said, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll find out here in the next couple of weeks or so. I think he was saying also too that if he can get it on Stadia, he's going to try to put out a demo by Halloween on Stadia. So that will be awesome too if that happens. So stay tuned, and yeah, it's going to be awesome if it happens.
I mean, if it happens, maybe we can get it again on the show. Like maybe talk about the process and stuff like that. So we'll see if we can, get it on the show. That'd be nice.
For sure.
Fletch here says, not gonna lie, I'm not a fan, but I want it as it's easy Chivos, definitely. So the last game, it took me less than 10 hours to do all the achievements. So definitely,
nice.
And they're fun. I mean, I say it's fun. I mean, Fletch doesn't like the game, but they were not frustrating or anything. They were really easy to get. So definitely,
cool.
I can see the Stadia Achievers community get into this game for sure.
Awesome.
All right, so this is all I had for community news. We went, a little faster, but this is just because we had this awesome person, Michael, coming in and telling us about the game. So looking forward to see if we'll get that video tomorrow and learn more about the game. I'm looking forward to see, the animation and see what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it's undergone a massive rehaul there with the different graphics and characters. And Michael's always a very passionate person, so I'm really interested in seeing that footage tomorrow. I want to check before we head out here. Ninja, you put up a poll here that says, what other classic Atari games would you like the most on Stadia? And we have Space Invaders, Pitfall, Frogger, my personal favorite, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Oh my gosh, if they ever did that, that would be awesome.
We had some honorable mentions too. I know that I think I Can't See said Berserk. Berserk was awesome. And then Cowboy said Joust. Joust was also an excellent game. So I do hope to see those two,
Yep. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and end the poll. Again, a big shout out Ninja, always coming up with these awesome polls here. My brain draws a blank, but he's always comes to save us here.
It took me like 10 minutes, but
No, that's okay. Do you want to read the results? Can you see the results, Ninja? Okay.
Yeah. So Space Invaders is the first one. I guess it's a good, it is a good arcade shooter. I remember I think Space Invaders Ultimate was called on PSP was an excellent title. So it'd be cool to see something similar. Got Pitfall at second place. It is a cool adventure game, right? So it was like one of the only adventure game on Atari. I mean, not really, but it was like rare to see like a jumping platformer game like that at the time, right? So it's very cool. Frogger third, and surprisingly, E.T. fourth. I don't get it. It sold pretty well at the time.
Yeah, he says the fact that E.T. didn't win is outrageous. I'm sure all the cartridges that are buried in the sand there out in the desert would say otherwise, but
I think if E.T. would come on Stadia, it'll be the next what did they call it? When Atari died there, like the
crash.
It's gonna be the Stadia crash. Yeah.
Raphael says Frogger is the best. People vote badly sometimes.
Nice.
Jeez. So,
man, Q Games has a nice Frogger game, right? That came out. I hope that we get that.
That would be awesome to see more games from them. They're in Japan there, so who knows? Hopefully, we'll see more expansion. We know Mexico is coming, and I'm sure there's more planned. So hopefully in the near future, we'll hear more about that.
Yep.
So I think with that, that's going to round out here episode 47 of Stadium Connect North. As always, thank you, Ninja Guy X. I really do appreciate you taking your time out here. Weekend starting, and this was awesome. I always love when you're able to make it here, and I think we had a fantastic interview with Michael. Again, really looking forward to the new footage.
Yeah.
Do you have anything planned for the weekend?
Well, first of all, John, I want to say thank you too to organizing this. You do a lot in the background that a lot of people don't know, but you've put a lot of work in this podcast, so I appreciate that a lot. So thanks for that. In terms of weekend, you know what? It's going to be very beautiful, so we're going to go at the beach.
Wow,
spend some time there. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Other than that, gaming. Probably I think I have about 4 games that I'd like to 100% achieve before the end of the month. I have Cousin of Wild Mask, not Space Centipede,
Yep.
Race with Ryan, and
Oh, okay.
Dawn of the Monsters. So hopefully I
Oh,
can
okay.
work on that this weekend also.
I'm trying to close out this weekend Those Who Remain. I know I'm near the end there. I really want to finish that this weekend and get that closed out. It's been an awesome experience. I've been playing and streaming Five Nights at Freddy's. I've helped people in the community have helped along in the chat there.
Caliphate especially, yeah.
Yeah, some difficult spots there. Other than that, I think you know what? I know this is an old people thing to do, but I think tomorrow I'm gonna go with my wife and we're gonna play bingo. We always have fun. We go every like couple of months or maybe once a month, something like that. Go play bingo and just have fun. You know, get out. And one time my wife won like $120 on it, so it's always fun. It's a couple of hours, and like I said, I know it's like an old people thing to do.
I enjoy bingo.
But,
Come on.
Yeah. Bingo's always fun. So I think that's what we're going to do this weekend. So bingo, and I want to beat Those Who Remain. That's what's on my plate this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Awesome. Good luck. And, if you win, think about me and in lead. We're good friends. So
yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, again, thank you, Ninja. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Always look forward to Stadium Connect North every Friday. And next Friday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have another developer coming on.
Really? I can't remember.
Yeah, if it's not next Friday, it's the following Friday, but we'll definitely be announcing that. Check out Stadium Connect North Twitter. We've got that contest going. We're going to announce the winner next week. You can win a Google TV Chromecast, the Play and Watch package, and you get your choice of dongle and controller color and game. Just let us know how you would share and spread Stadia by winning that package. And good luck, everybody. And again, thank you so much, everybody. We love you all. We really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you all again next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.